back in business. We back in business.
Yeah, we are.
This is excellent. All right.
Hey, June, when was the last time we recorded an episode? We're in March now, so what was it, like beginning December, mid-December?
Yeah. It's been at least three something for 3.5 months since we last recorded an episode. Holy shit. Yeah.
Nah, it hasn't been that long, has it? Didn't we record one more, like December 15th or something? Because you left like December 17th.
Yeah, but that's still December, January, February, March. Yeah, that's like a little bit less than 3 months. That's a little bit less than 3 months.
Yeah, well, we're almost there.
Yeah. So, to those unaware, the main reason why the channel has been getting many uploads is because I am in this small Italian village in the hills and the mountains, and we have absolutely horrendous Wi-Fi, and I wasn't able to upload almost any of the episodes that we recorded beforehand because we have at least 5-6 more episodes, including 2 3-hour-long Berserk episodes that I just have here on my computer that I cannot upload there. But we figured out now that I'm back with my grandparents and I have some good Wi-Fi, we can do some catching up, and I'm probably gonna upload a few episodes while I'm in this space. But yeah, so that's the technical catching up for our audience. Yeah, it's been interesting, dude. I miss just like getting together and talking about whatever we like to talk about. But also this semester, this program in Italy is just so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, so what have you been doing?
It's a lot of physical theater, dancing, gymnastics. Like I was learning how to do a handstand, how to do some like weird chair thingies, how to juggle. We did 2 weeks of clowning. We did 2 weeks of clowning with this clown from South America who's been doing this for like 30 years or something. He's so fucking cool.
You take that shit seriously.
Yeah, no, it was really a lot of fun. But the funny thing is, for the first week, I had laryngitis and I couldn't utter a single fucking word. And so for my first week of clowning, I basically was a mute clown. And I go up and he's like, "Oh, you're a singer, right?" And I'm just like, I have the fucking clown nose on and everything. And he's like, "Oh, you want to sing to us in Greek?" And I'm like, and I just start pantomiming a whole fucking song. And the thing is, he started to fucking cry at it. He was like, "Oh my god, that's so emotional, dude." And I'm like, I love this man. He has such a like cool fucking energy about it.
Dude, the laryngitis would have been great timing if it was mime school to start and then clown school later. You would have killed it in mime school.
Oh my god, dude. It was so fucking weird. Like we did like some exercises that were very unique. They were like about spatial awareness, about not thinking. Literally, it's the clown lives in the problem. The clown doesn't look for a solution. The clown just exists in a state of problem, and he just deals with it. He just lives in it.
Is that how it was explained to you?
Yeah, and so
I don't know what the fuck that means.
I'm trying to explain it because it made sense there.
What do you mean by the problem? Like, you're saying that the clown just lives in the present?
He lives in the present, and usually the present has different problems. So whether it's we call them fiascos. So the clown, basically, whether there's a physical problem, like no matter how much he tries to, he keeps on falling down, or he tries to do something but fails over and over and over again. He just
like when they do like their bits, like their sticks.
It's they live in that moment and they don't look for a way out. They're just fully in whatever fucking catastrophe they're living. Yeah.
Okay, so they like they'll trap themselves like a cycle of falling, and falling is a problem. Is
Yeah,
what you're
like
saying?
me and this one girl who were partnered up for a partner exercise. One of our fiascos was that one of us would always try and help the other one up, and the other one would then immediately fall down. So I would be on the floor, she would lift me up, and then she would fall on the floor, and then I would lift her up, and then I fell on the floor, and it's how we just kept on developing that. That added like the the funny. It added the funny. Um, but yeah, so we did a good amount of clowning, including a clowning performance. Um, been doing a lot of just physical exercise, dude. It fucking kills me. I went from a year of quarantining in Greece, just full couch potato, to a semester of New York City on camera acting, which wasn't very physically intensive. And now I'm thrown into this fucking environment where we just do like a lot of rolling around, running around, jumping around, dancing, a lot of physical exertion.
Yeah, dude,
And
how much weight have you lost? You look a lot thinner.
I had lost quite a bit of weight, but the fucking cafeteria that we have these two Italian chefs who just whip out just all kinds of spaghetti and like desserts, tiramisu, and everything. So I
Yeah.
simultaneously lost weight and then gained like 3 kilos in the past month. But because of all the physical exercise, it's less that I have gained fat and more that I've just like toned in a way.
Yeah. Got some muscle now. Nice, AJ.
Yeah, building that muscle. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna put some pictures up from the area as well because it's just so fucking beautiful. We live on like villa. We live on a villa overseeing the entirety of the city of Arezzo. Um,
Okay, that's beautiful.
yeah, we just chill there in the wilderness, and it's just a very serene and magical place. Like
How much have you moved around there so far? Have you just stayed in where are you staying in Florence?
no Arezzo is both the province and the city. So we live in the city of Arezzo in the province of Arezzo, but we have gone to Florence. We have gone to Rome. I went to all the places in Rome.
How's it, bro?
Rome was fucking
Like,
nice. I went.
dude, did you go to the Vatican? Because you had to go to the Vatican.
I almost went in. Some of my friends went in, but I ended up doing something else that day. But next time, because
Uh,
I'll be here for a
yeah.
while, I'm probably gonna visit.
Man, I'm telling you, the Vatican is crazy. It is so massive, and it's got like it's literally just like a collection of like all the pillaging of the world. Like, there's so many different things there. Like, they have nothing to do with like old school like Roman culture, but it's so interesting. They had when you walk through the Sistine Chapel and everything, and you saw like I think it was Michelangelo painted Sistine Chapel, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fact check that real quick. Is that right?
Oh no, he did. Do you know?
You think? Okay.
What do you know of
You know
his
what?
Sistine
Honestly,
Chapel
the thing about
paintings?
what do I know about them?
Yeah, cause
I just know that they're depicting certain scenes from the Bible. But the coolest thing about the Sistine Chapel wasn't even like the roof that Michelangelo painted. It was the sides.
hmm
Because one was like a wall to wall horizontally mural of Moses' journey. So like you saw his whole biblical story, and then like ended with the party in the Red Sea, I think. And I can remember the other wall. I think it might be Jesus' story. That would make the most sense. But I can't remember off the top of my head. Because even though like those individual ones of like, God and Adam touching and everything like that, they're all like squares on top of the a ceiling. So like they must be super impressive with the closer look. But like it's just not the same magnitude as the wall to wall mural like painting. It was pretty either way, that was fucking great. It was a really cool experience. You had to do it.
I
I fell
will.
asleep in like the promenade too. I like put my head down. It was a hot day in the Italian sun, and I just like passed out. Woke up. I thought it was like Assassin's Creed, and I like came back to reality for a second.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It was really cool. I liked Rome a lot. I wouldn't live there, but I would definitely go over there again.
Yeah, no, it was a very chill time. Our Airbnb was right next to the Vatican, so we had the walls there and just like seeing that. But the interesting thing about the Sistine Chapel paintings is Michelangelo, he didn't want to paint them. He really didn't want to paint the Sistine Chapel. But the Pope at the time, who was nicknamed like the Terrible Pope, that's literally how he's remembered like in history. Uh, he basically forced him to paint the Sistine Chapel, and so Michelangelo, with so much spite, created like a masterpiece in the Sistine Chapel, all the paintings, and has hidden so many things in the paintings that just
Oh, like that little
infuriate.
piece of skin,
Like,
like the little piece of skin on the tree.
no, no,
That
no.
they think
It's first of all, before everyone was naked. Everyone was naked. Jesus, everyone around him, they were all naked. They hired this other painter to draw clothes on everyone that was important at least. And that dude fucking died after completing that, after just drawing on everyone's clothes, you
like
know?
a curse.
Literally, they're like, "Oh, you gonna draw clothes on these naked people? Fucking perish!" But that's the least thing. Every guy in his paintings basically looked like he had testosterone, just breasts, just these absolute massive titties for every dude in the paintings. Um, he depicted a gay couple in heaven, um, like right next to Jesus and God and everything. And no matter how much you press the priests and the people there, they will say that straight couple is looking very happy in heaven. Uh, he drew the Pope into hell at the bottom right, into hell, and the Pope is getting his ass bitten by a snake. Yes. There is a portion of the ceiling paintings where God is literally mooning the entire church. The Adam and God touching. I don't know if you're aware of like the way that God and all these angels behind him are drawn. It looks basically like half of the human brain. So that was a sacrilegious thing in and of itself. The fact that he included anatomy into this. But yeah, he basically just absolutely filled this beautiful, beautiful art with so much spite for the Pope and the people that made him do this. And the funniest thing
I didn't
is,
know that. That's crazy.
I know, and the funniest thing is, the dude who discovered these things was banned from the Vatican. So like what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? They have an absolute artistic masterpiece in one of their most holy places ever, and it just so happens that that same art is just completely making fun of many of their things. It's so special to me. That's like the only reason I want to go into the Vatican.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, like the more you know. But
Yeah,
I also,
I want to go back now. I want to go back now and verify.
dude, if when I'm gonna go back, I'm literally gonna go in there and see how long I can stay in the Sistine Chapel without getting fucking perma banned from the Vatican.
You'll be fine as long as you don't flash.
Nah, I wouldn't do anything too indecent, but challenging things
Nah,
like that.
but not flash like flash the crowd, bro. I mean, if you I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to take pictures with flash on.
Oh, I misinterpreted that. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take a pictures. I would absolutely flash the crowd though.
I didn't think you would pull up to the Vatican in a trench coat, dog.
Oh my god. Don't give me ideas. But yeah, but another thing is, while I was in Rome, I went to the bridge and the area under the bridge. where Diavolo died in part 5 of JoJo's. Spoiler.
Okay. That's all good. I honestly, like, JoJo's like so far from removed from what I want to watch right now.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna show like the pictures that I took in the manga, but I basically went right at the spot where he fell down a bridge into this river, and I walked under that bridge all along like the riverside, and like there were like 30 different encampments of homeless people just in that entire area, and I'm just like walking through in like my really colorful coat, and I'm just like, hello, and they're all asking me for cigarettes, and I'm like, I don't smoke, dude. I wish I could help you out, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was that was kind of reckless of me to just like walk the entirety of that area, because like the sheer amount of homeless people that were there. But I also didn't feel unsafe. Like all of them were just like vibing and chilling. I didn't encounter anyone that was like mean or anything.
That's nice.
But
Leave it to JoJo's to turn Rome into an anime pilgrimage site.
yes. What's it called? Oh, I also went to the Temple of Adrian, who I was named after.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a nice like temple with Greek columns on the outside. It was very aesthetic. It was very aesthetic.
That's in Rome?
Hmm?
That's in Rome?
Yeah. The Temple of Hadrian. Oh, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the funniest part of the entire trip was just at a club. It wasn't in any archaeological sites or everything. It's one of our teachers recommended this club to us, and the night we went.
In Rome?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you go Charivari or Ice Bar?
No, I think it was neither.
Okay, yeah, I didn't go to that one. There was a place called Ice Bar where you were literally like in an igloo. You had to put on thermal coats that they give you. It's like ice everything. It's kind of crazy.
I might go to that place
cool
whenever I visit again, because that sounds pretty fucking cool. But no, we went to this club. I forget the name, but the night that we went, they had like this massive drag show going on, and like our teacher recommended this club to us, and we just go there. And I realized we get there, and all of us, all the people that were part of the group of the program, showed up without communicating to each other that we were going to the same club. We all just happened to go at the same night at the exact same time, because we were like split off into different groups. And so I'm just there 2-3 Long Island iced teas in, just like dancing my ass off, and I turn around and I see my friends at the bar, and I'm like, no fucking way. And so they started coming in, and then I see this friend of mine from campus that I haven't seen in over 2 years, who just happens to study in Rome, and I'm like, no fucking way. And then we had even more people come in, and then all of us were just like occupying this solid group, and we were just like partying and dancing our asses off. And like I started climbing these fucking like metal beams that have like the light on it. I'm just like climbing several meters in.
After the pole, it's okay. You don't have to sugarcoat it.
It wasn't that pole, but yeah, it was just so fucking funny, because like afterwards we left like 4 a.m. Me and my roommate, for this entire stretch of being in Rome, we kept coming back to our Airbnb at like 5 a.m. absolutely drunk off our asses. There's no one outside on the street, and we're just two artists, so of course we're like singing and dancing and just fucking yelling. And it's just us two artistic drunkards in the streets of Rome. I really don't know how we didn't get fucking mugged, dude. But
yeah, honestly. And when I heard you coming down the block, I'm surprised nobody got ready.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We what's it called? In Arezzo, we almost did get involved in a fucking bar fight though, because it was me and a little group just hanging out at this bar, and this drunk Russian and Italian dude like come by the corner and they start like getting really close and just like talking to like these two girls in my program, and they were like not feeling comfortable, and so we're trying to push them away. We're trying to push them away, and this one girl who's just kicks ass goes by and like starts pushing and be like, hey, like back off, you know, like they don't want to talk, and this motherfucker like slaps her, and so she literally kicked him out of the bar, like fucking slaps, punches, just like knocked this drunk Russian dude who was like, both of these dudes were much bigger, much like wider than her, and she just like threw them out of the bar single-handedly. Like I was about to fucking like help, but she didn't even let me do that. She just fucking went there and just started pouncing.
That's a tough lady.
Yeah, no, she fucking kicks ass, dude. Also a fellow.
She's in your program too. She's in your program too.
Yeah, fellow anime stan as well. So gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go connect with some more weebs around this program. But
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like dude, the amount of people in this program who are just so fucking cool it makes me really happy.
I'm sure there's a lot of eclectics. I'm sure everybody's a little different over there.
Yeah, no, we are a diverse group of absolute fucking
theater kids.
Yeah. It's such a mess, but it's so funny. Like literally,
I'm sure kids go hard.
We are just out like in the olive tree field in front of the villa, just doing acting exercises, just like running around and screaming and rolling and everything, and just frolicking, but really theatrically in the hills. And there's like a farming family living right next to us, and so they just come out and they just see this like every day. And they're like, just imagine you live next to a theater school. I don't like you either love it or you hate it, and these motherfuckers must love it because dude,
they're probably so desensitized to it by now. Like you're not the first and you're not gonna be the last. They're probably seeing classes go through and through. I think frolicking in the field is probably one of the less weirder shit they've seen over there.
I mean, I say frolicking, but we are like sprinting and just like screeching at the top of our lungs as different things. It's very strange how some exercises are like very strange but profound. Like this one thing that we have every 2-3 weeks, it's called experimental lab, where basically you either sit by the wall and do nothing, you just observe, or you enter into the middle of the space and you just do things. There's no parameters, there's no things. You just go there and just kind of improv for 50 minutes. And so I go and I meet my Rome roommate in this space, and I'm just like swaying back and forth, like very relaxed, and he starts coming by and just like pushes me, and I react to it, and I sway more strong, and then he just gets a bit more and more violent with every push and shove. And then he starts being like, why do you do that? Why do you do that? Why do you do that? And I start repeating, why do I do that? Why do I do that? Why do you do that? Why did I do that? Why did you do that? And then he looks at me and says, I'm garbage. And I look at him and I'm like, you're garbage. I'm garbage. You're garbage. I'm garbage. And we just go on this back and forth just screaming like, I'm garbage. You're garbage. You know? And then we just fucking hug it out and just start crying. I don't know how it happened, but just doing this back and forth was just so fucking therapeutic, because we just got so much just angst. I was like, I'm garbage. You're garbage. Oh my god. It's such a drug just being with actors and theater kids. It's so surreal.
I mean, bro, that's your people. Of course you feel good about it.
In my element, dude. In my fucking element.
Yeah,
oh my god.
You should feel good about it. It'd be more concerning if you weren't happy, you know?
Yeah. Nah, man, it's a really good time. And what have you been up to actually? Because I haven't really talked to you.
Yeah, nothing. I started a full time. I'm not gonna go further into it, but besides that, just been working. I got stuff planned for the summer. Honestly, like I did a snowboarding trip in Vermont
Hey.
in like January, I think, and that was fun as fuck. It was we went to Stowe. We got like an Airbnb. When I'm telling you, this shit was like a serial killer's cabin in terms of it was up like 3 miles of dirt road, and so we were going to Stowe. It's like the highest mountain in Vermont, and we got there early. My group, it was about like 10 of us, I think, me, all my Albanian friends, and so we beat the other truck there. So we're like, all right, it's still daytime. We have 3 days worth of passes. Let's go. So we go on. It was really sunny that day, so it was really icy. And for some reason, like I started snowboarding last season, and I got like okay, like I can go down a run and not eat shit. So I was confident, I guess, is what I would say. And so I was like, all right, like let's go on like the blue square, because the blue square is like one step up from a green, which is like a bunny slope type thing. And so I was like, all right, like let's do that one. So we get up there, and next thing you know, I'm like 3,500 feet up at like elevation, looking down at the top of the mountain, and I'm like, all right, well, I was like, let's try it. So get down, it's all icy, and then like first run of the day, I didn't even think I stretched. I was a fucking moron, and I go down fine. It's all ice, so you're just catching speed, and when you're on a snowboard, you can't maneuver on ice. You just kind of have to aim for patches of powder where you can break or like turn a little bit, do something, but you can't catch it. You won't be able to do anything on ice. And so then I'm going fine, but I'm going pretty quick, and I'm a little disoriented. And I'm trying to aim for a powder patch, and then I just spun backwards. My back edge caught, and I just went smack the back of my head first run. And I had a helmet on, but I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't know if I thought I lost my sense of smell. I was like, what's going on? So I was like stuck for like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then it took like my soul to finish the rest of that run down, but I did it. My friend that came up with me though. Like he bitched out. He got up there and he was like just couldn't do it, and he literally just got sledded down the whole mountain by one of the ski guys. Or no, I think it was a snowboarder. It was like one of the ski patrols, but he was on a snowboard. Just put him on like a sled behind him and just like ripped it down a black diamond apparently, and just dropped them off. Yeah, people are animals.
That's so fucking cool though.
Adrian, people are animals, man. I saw. When you're going up on the cable car, and you're just going up on the ski lift. There you go. You're going up on the ski lift. You go over like a stretch of woods, and it's usually clear to the middle, but it's all like really crazy terrain. So it's not really rideable unless you have a high skill level. And this one was gnarly. Like this mountain's like kind of like at this angle. It's a really steep slope, and it's got little creeks that run through, like big drops, a lot of rocks and stuff. And I just saw someone I didn't see the person. It was just like the tracks of like a mythical beast. Someone had shredded from mid top all the way down. And I'm telling you, like, you saw a track from top of a cliff to like a 10-foot drop over a creek. Someone had murdered this mountain, and it didn't even look like he ever stopped. There was never really a hard break line. It was all curves. But I accidentally went down a black diamond during a snowstorm the next day. It was snowing like an inch an hour, and I was supposed to meet my friend on the trail, and he's like, yeah, we got up at the top, at the bottom. So he's like, go at the top of it, and then you go down to the back of the mountain, don't drop in the front. And I was like, okay. And so you have to drop down like a 10-foot slope, and then you get dropped into a flat. And then you have the trail my friend was on, like some walking trail, and then a black and a double black. And my friend he's like, yeah, I'm on this blue trail. So I get to the blue trail, it's closed, and I saw like there wasn't a lot of snow on it either. So I was like, I'm not gonna I was using my brother's board, so I don't want to ruin it. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'm not gonna whip out and like go back up and like unclip and walk back up that slope and drop on the front end. I was like, I guess I'll just go down this black diamond. Let's see how bad can it be.
Oh no.
And bro, it was bad, Adri. It was bad. It was called like Descent or something. I was like, all right. I was like, how bad can it be? And it's just like bam, like straight down ice drop, like 90-degree turn. You go over, you go really over. There's no snowbank, but if you go over that, so you drop 40 feet. And then you turn left down ice again, and you're like right next to like a mountain face, which is pretty sick because you're kind of like sliding by icicles. And then you go down again, bang, another 90-degree one the same way, and then you get to a stop at the bottom. And you just look straight down the mountain. And at this point, it's snowing an inch an hour, and it's just gray. Everything was like gray, even the trees. Everything was like white, gray. The wind's blowing upwards at you. It's like you can hear the mountain. It felt like, you know, a Dark Souls boss battle, like that boss theme comes on. What it felt like. And I was like, all right. I was like, I guess you gotta try it. And dude, it was, Adrian, I'm telling you, I was the only snowboarder on there. I felt every skier that passed me, I could tell they were just like, this kid's a fucking idiot for being here. Because first off, it's all ice. And it was complete ice. Even skiers were wiping out. And like some of the kids were like, I don't know, way better than I am as a snowboarder. They were skiers. But so I just kept going, stopping. Eventually, like, it went from like a super steep angle to like you just catch some speed and then you can maintain. And so once I got to like the bottom, it worked out. But at one point, my goggles fell off, and I was just like eyeing it, and I was like, okay, this is fine.
During a fucking snowstorm.
Once I started catching speed, it just started ripping my eyes. And I was like, no, I gotta put them back on. So I put my goggles back on, and they had filled up with snow in like the 35 seconds that they were off. And so I just put them on, and I'm like heading towards like a turn, and and I put them on, and I just see all white, and I'm like, no, and I just immediately turned without looking, and it was okay. I corrected fine, but I was like, that was fucking bad. So then I had to stop and clean up. It was pretty miserable finishing that one too.
My fucking god, dude, that's insane.
It was a great trip though. It was really fun, and it was I slept with the window open, like every night, and I'm telling you, the room was like frosted over in the morning. It was phenomenal. I had like a deep thermal onesie. It's like my lumberjack onesie. It's sick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, like I like my room to be cold when I fall asleep.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I can't sleep when it's too hot either. Kills me. I swear to God, my family's reptilian. It's so hot in my house, 24/7, and I get yelled at if I'm like, I'll wear a tank top. They're like, why wear a tank top? I'm like, I'm fucking dying, and it's like 75.
We're in the fucking jungle, man. Oh my god. Wait, I haven't snowboarded. I've gone skiing a couple times before, and without fail, every time I went somewhere, I ate one phenomenal like crash, and then I stopped skiing for the rest of my time there. Like the first time that I remember, I was like,
dude, because it takes it out of you.
It fucking shocks you, dude. Like if you like
when you wipe out, when you wipe out, you're like, oh. You're just like, you're physically hurt, and you still have to like exert yourself because you're like, I still have to get down the mountain. So then it's a mental battle. You just gotta win out.
Dude, I think the two funniest examples of this.
My friend broke his leg skating or snowboarding. My friend broke his leg snowboarding.
I do want to try snowboarding because I've done I almost said I almost said I've done waterboarding. I meant I've done surfboarding.
Skateboarding?
No, surf. Like
Oh, you surf?
No, not surf, but like the
Inboarding?
Boarding, but on the water.
Paddleboard?
But you're being pulled by a boat.
Oh, that's like rafting.
No. It's how you do snowboard, but in the water, and you're being pulled by a boat. I just the word just escaped my.
Water skiing.
Yeah, but my dumbass almost said I've done waterboarding.
It might be called waterboarding. I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called. I know what you mean though.
It's not waterboarding.
I don't know. I get what you mean though. Like they're getting towed. They have like a single board on, and then they're just killing it. It's maybe water skiing. I'm not really sure.
Just real quick before I go back to it. Waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay sounds really fun if you don't know what either of these two things are.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, that shit's horrific when you said.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh yeah, I've done waterboarding before. I've been fucking tortured via drowning. Oh my god. But yeah,
Remember
no,
there was a whole debate. Hey, we were both pretty young, but do you remember there was a whole debate over whether or not waterboarding was torture?
that we had.
Yeah, it used to be in the news where people were like, "Oh, is waterboarding really torture?" And then, like, some radio hosts would like talk shit on it, and then one of them like did it and
Oh
like,
yeah, wait.
immediately folded.
There was this one dude on fucking Joe Rogan show who was like, "Oh, waterboarding is not real torture. You're really like not actually getting harmed." And I'm like,
That one said that, Rogan. Yeah, that's false.
You dumb fuck. You
I haven't
absolute
been
cretin. You
waterboarded, but just
bumbling
knowing about what
buffoon.
it is makes me not want to do it.
Yeah. But okay, wait. Torture aside, back to the skiing thing.
Yeah.
The first time I went skiing, I was like 7, 8 years old, and I barely learned how to brake. I was just like pizza skiing to
French fry.
yeah,
French fry.
you know. We got the French fry and then it was the pizza, to slow us down. And so I reached a point where I'm going like a pretty steep slope. There's just one straight steep thing, and I just didn't. I just kept going like this, and I was just zooming super fucking fast. And I reach a point towards the bottom where both of my skis get stuck under a thing of ice, and I get launched out of my skis into the air for like several meters and then just start to roll all the way down. And I was fine. I didn't break anything. I didn't hit my head or anything. But just the sheer speed.
I imagine falling off too.
I just sat there on the ground, just like staring at the ground. I'm like, oh no. And then I just stayed there by a bar waiting for my parents for like the remainder of the time. But that was the first time when I was a kid. The second time was a couple years later, where a very similar thing happened to me, where I just couldn't stop, or I wasn't able to get like my things together and stop. And I just see this log cabin in front of me, and I just keep on going, and I can't stop, and I can't turn, and I just accept my fate. And I'm like, you know what? At least this log cabin is going to stop this fucking rampage. And so I'm just going down, and I just slam against it. And the fucking ski instructor that was following me was just being super sarcastic and just roasting me. And I was just like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
You know, I prefer sledding. I think sledding is my element. Either that or just throwing myself down a fucking snowy hill.
My friend does the tricycle one. It's like the little bike one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He does that. I don't know if he bought his own or if he just rents every time. But I was like, why do you do that? And he goes pretty frequently. I was like, why wouldn't you want to learn how to ski or snowboard? I was like, I don't think those are available everywhere. Also, I'm like, come on, man. It's like, you gonna have a bike? I don't see the appeal in those ones, to be honest.
Fucking Aokiji looking ass with his bike on the ice.
Yeah. What have you been watching? Have you been watching anything? You've just been busy.
I really haven't been watching anything new. I'm just waiting for everything to release. I'm waiting for Mob Psycho Season 3. I'm waiting for Chainsaw Man. I'm waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen movie.
That movie comes out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I'm literally just waiting because I will most likely rewatch some things with some people in my program because they like anime, and I'm like, I can recommend you some, so let's watch some. But yeah, I haven't really been watching any shows or anything like that. I've just been way too fucking busy just doing art and theater and things like that. Oh, wait.
No. Have you been reading anything, or just fucking balls to the wall theater kid?
If I'm reading anything?
Yeah, you just been busy.
Yeah, no, I got a few things. I have the entirety of Vagabond 1 through 10 with me, so whenever I want some philosophy, I just read into that. My brother gifted me the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's been one that I've been enjoying.
Yeah, what is that book? 'Cause I see a lot of people have that, or at least a lot of people post it on their story. I don't know if they read it or not.
It's
Never asked them.
like it, it talks about many things, but one of the most important lessons that I've seen there is to choose where you give your fucks, because your fucks should be something valuable to you. It's energy, it's care, and if you give a fuck about everything, then everything is going to fucking trigger you. If you give a fuck about how people perceive you, if you give a fuck how what's it called? Yeah, if you just generally give a fuck about way too many things, you will get more frustration out of it. Whereas if you focus your fucks in certain subjects that you are more passionate about, that kind of puts more focus and like backs up the things that you actually care about. So where one person might always give a fuck about, I don't know, let's say success. If you only give a fuck about success and every little failure just pisses you off, if you give less of a fuck about success and you give more of a fuck about your process, then you actually get shit done. I'm kind of mincing things because I'm also thinking of the different subjects that he covers, but he talks about in the first few chapters about
like he uses fucks more as a metaphor.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Yeah, it's like like energy, caring about things like that. And I used to care about way too many things, in the sense that I would just get really frustrated by very small things or just get way too caught up on certain things. And so reading that while also going through a lot of personal like transformations and shit, like it kind of it gives me ideas of like, oh, like what do I actually want to focus on, what do I actually want to expend energy for. Because I used to like expend so much energy for the least valuable things, or I would stress myself out so much for something that shouldn't really have stressed me out that much. And so that's a valuable thingy that this book teaches. And yeah, and I also got this book from this thrift store book thingy. That's the Way of the Bard, because I picked up my lyre harp. I got a new instrument, and so that book goes into the psychology of bards, of mythology, of instrument playing, like all these kinds of things. I really like that. And I've started reading fucking poetry, of all things. Yeah.
Hey man, poetry's nice. I took one of my favorite classes I took was poetry in college.
It's been years since I've actually like picked up a poet's work and started to really read it and get some resonance out of it. Because
The hardest thing with some poems though is like, some guys love callbacks where they just like everything's referencing another work, and the next thing you know, you're reading more cliff notes than you are the actual poem in order to understand the context of the poem. So like those poems I didn't have a great time with, but like, you read like there's other poetry like Hemingway, for example, where it's just straight up just a standalone. I liked his work a lot. I haven't read poetry in a minute though. But it was fun. I enjoyed that class.
If I can
Writing in general,
recommend
you know.
anything, it would be Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. That one is a very famous one because it's just so fucking good. It's this Lebanese poet, and this is probably, everyone calls it like his best work. I wouldn't know because I haven't read more of his works, but from the things that I've read in it, it it has so much to offer in terms of wisdom, in terms of little things you like think about. Basically, it's this prophet is about to leave his city, his town, and before he leaves, all these townspeople come. They're like, "Oh, before you leave, please, tell us your wisdom. Share with us this." And so different people go up. Like the lawman asks, "Talk to us of justice and revenge," and a farmer says, "Talk to us about food," and like all kinds of things, and just a lot of different insights on these different subjects: friendship, talking, food, laws, like all kinds of different things. And it's pretty short. Like I've read the entire thing in less than an hour and a half. I wasn't doing an in-depth like thinking of every single line, but I read the whole thing in like less than an hour. But if you try and actually work out some of the meanings behind it, you can spend like a good half hour with just one of these things, just mulling over and thinking like different things, because it's very interesting what good poetry can evoke in you, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Well, that just goes for like anything in general in terms of like creative work, art, stuff like that. That's a sign of a good work, I think, if it's evoking an emotional reaction from the person consuming it. But yeah, I get that. I mean, same goes for like when you watch a good show or something.
Consume. Consume.
Yeah, imagine, you're test screening an audience and throughout the entire movie, like, they're just all like, yeah, okay. Uh-huh, yeah, all right. Okay, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Not what you want.
Nah.
Adrian, what do you got planned in the coming months?
Let's see. I have this program until April 20 something, and then I'm gonna go
You get a certificate of completion of some type of program or anything for it, or not?
I don't think so, but like just
Like, can
just
you put it
being
on your
there.
resume or no?
Oh yeah, no, that I can, because it's the Accademia dell'Arte in Italy. You know, it's a
Oh, wow.
it's a fancy. Just because it's in Italian, it should sound good.
Yeah,
You know.
dell'arte.
But yeah, no, like they got cred. But yeah, so we got that, and then I'm going to Greece, where I'm going to be doing my jaw surgery. So we will.
Yeah, what's the recovery process for that like? Are you gonna be drinking through a straw for like 2 weeks?
10 days, yeah. At the end of 10 days, I should be feeling better. But it's 10 days where I'm basically not going to be able to talk and not going to be able to eat unless through a straw. But I am prepared for it because, a lifetime of discomfort in my lower jaw versus 10 days of just muteness and not being able to eat much, like...
Yeah, you can suck it through, you'll be fine.
Also, like, hey, I'm probably gonna lose some more weight during that time because I'm just gonna be sipping on some juice, so, like, silver linings.
Yeah, just think of it like a juice cleanse.
Oh my
You'll be fine.
god. Just gonna be chugging Greek coffee every hour.
Look up a 10-day juice cleanse and just do it.
Oh my god. But I am excited for that. We're most likely going to do another one of these beforehand, but after the next one, my face is gonna change a little bit, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how that's gonna be for me. and for
You
other
come
people.
back, answer Squidward. Just
I just come back just Chad Adrian. Nah.
yeah, they gave you a bike seat for a jaw.
They actually
Oh man.
they actually gave me that fucking anime like guts jawline, just like cutting
Oh,
rock.
like an anvil. Yeah, it's fine. You wake up with breast implants, so like, oh, sorry, wrong surgery, man.
Oops, it happens. Wait, that reminds me of like this one thing that I read of like these doctors that were meant to amputate one leg and ended up amputating the other.
Ooh.
That's just major bra moment. Like you just
Yeah.
wake up and you look at your leg and you're like, oh, thank God, like they amputated the leg that I needed to get amputated. Now let's see. Oh, it's still there. Oh, my other one is gone. Like, how do you react to that?
Oh man, I don't know.
Like, yeah, I would.
It depends, especially depends like where it's amputated at. Because like, imagine it was like at the hip procedure and they straight up just took the whole leg. Oof.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a ton of protocol in place for that now. I don't know when that happened, but that fucking sucks. That is like negligence and malpractice personified. That's awful.
Dude, it's so strange the different types of experiences that I've had in the Greek healthcare system. Cause
How is it?
like the one that I went to get the X-ray that told me you know, like how this, like, check this out. So what they're gonna do is they're going to operate from the inside of my mouth. They're going to cut into the bone using a kind of laser thing that only cuts bone and not nerves. That by itself is just so fucking beyond me to understand how something can cut just bone and not nerves. So they're gonna cut here, move it back up, because it's like displaced by almost like a full centimeter. I have like a picture up of my fucking X-ray. I literally look like a caveman. Like the jaw being further back is a product of modern evolution. I am literally the Ooga Booga man.
Yeah, to say they found you in the Neanderthal.
But yeah, and so like that, and they're gonna put a fucking titanium plates in here, and I'm gonna have a fucking titanium jawline. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a very complicated process, and I'm like, holy shit, that is insane. That is just so fucking cool. And that's on one spectrum of my experiences, right? And then on the other, it's just absolute brain dead. Like I go to get the X-ray for this, you know, and I bought into the thing, and the lady there just looks at me and says, "You need to move your jaw back." And I look at her and I'm like, I am aware that's why I'm doing this X-ray for, so I can get surgery for my jaw because it doesn't go back. And she's like, yeah, but if you, the X-ray won't be good if your jaw is forward, so you need to put your jaw back. And I'm just trying to explain to this fully professional medical person that I cannot, and that this is the actual reason for why I'm getting the X-ray. And so this is going back and forth, and I literally just say, okay, I'll put my jaw back. And she took the X-ray and then gives it to me, and she's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I cannot move my fucking jaw back, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But that was the least one. The most what the fuck moment I've had was when I was in the island of Skiathos, and I noticed...
First problem. Are you talking about some island medicine right now? Are you gonna tell me that you had a great time?
Nah, it was a... I fucking love that island. You gotta visit me there sometime. It's really nice. We have like the only house on the beach. Everything else is restaurants and bars and shit like that.
There's probably some really good scuba diving in Greece too.
Oh yeah, near my favorite islands, there is a World War II German ship that's wrecked, and you can definitely go into scuba dives there. But there's so many different other places. But anyway, so I'm in Skiathos and I'm at the beach, and I look down at my foot, like at the soles of my foot, and I see that there's like these little black dots like in different areas on my foot, and I'm looking at that and I'm like, the fuck is that? Like, I don't feel any pain. I don't, like, I'm scratching at it, like, doesn't go away. I'm like, what is that? That's the first time I'm noticing this, right? So I go to the only hospital of the island there, and I go there, and I walk in, and there's just these two nurses on their phones, just not even dressed like nurses, just dressed like normal civilians, just at the front desk. And I'm like, hi, I wanna inquire about something. And they're like, okay, yeah, come in. And they bring me into the fucking room, and I show them these little black dots, and they look at me and say, oh, that's a sea urchin. And I'm telling them, no, it's not. I have stepped on several sea urchins before. I know how it feels. I know how to remove the needles. If I had stepped on so many sea urchins that different spots of my foot were like stung, and I walked all the way here without feeling a fucking thing, I doubt that it's sea urchin, and I doubt that anything is lodged in my foot, right? And they're like, no, it's sea urchin. And so they just start just like grabbing all these fucking utensils, like scraping away at my foot, trying to remove needles that aren't in there. And I keep telling them it's not fucking sea urchin. And they look at me and they say, well, what is it then? And I'm like, that's why I come to you guys for, you know? And then this dude with like this fucking huge fucking belly walks in, also dressed like a civilian, has fucking tzatziki stains on his shirt and everything, just walks in, and I'm like, is this the doctor of the hospital? And it was. And he's like, all right, what do we have here? And before I could say anything, the nurses say, he stepped on some sea urchins. So now I had to re-clarify this entire fucking thing again with this medical professional. And meanwhile, they're still just scraping at my feet, trying to dig these fucking needles out, literally like stabbing into my foot. And I'm just getting progressively just more exasperated. I'm just like, you're professionals, and you're asking me if I know what this is. And I'm just like, it was just so fucking surreal. It was so surreal, and I was also tired from the heat. I didn't know if I was being delirious, if I was fucking hallucinating this shit, but it was just, it felt like a fever dream. Just being in that room and just like trying to explain to these people over and over again, no, and receiving like no help. I never ended up finding out what the fuck that was, but they're gone now, so that's good. But yeah, like how our country can have both spectrums of just like top grade medical equipment, can cut bone but not nerve, all this thing, and then like that fucking Patrick science fucking meme, just like they don't know what they're doing with their time. It's so fucking weird, dude.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes. Quality varies. Not every doctor is a great doctor.
I wish I had
just like even in the U.S., like you can pick the hospital you get sent to, and an ambulance comes to you. It's like, which one do you want to go to? ABC, like nearby, and you're like, oh, I know a doctor, a hospital B is like, I want to go there.
I only trust one doctor in my life, and that's Dr. Tenma from Monster.
No. I wasn't sure where you're going with that. I gotta reread Monster. It's been a while.
I have left all of my Urasawa books in the US, and I'm going to go on a fucking binge when I get back. So end of August-ish is where I'm gonna read all of them again. Because I definitely.
You're just gonna reread your old ones.
I'm gonna reread Monster and 20th Century Boy and Pluto. But I still need to get the Pluto manga volumes. It's just so fucking good, dude. Like I keep seeing videos on YouTube of like a few very underground channels like talking about 20th Century Boys and Monster, and I just get so inspired. Like it's just such a fucking good series, and Urasawa is just an absolute G with his stories. And the fact that he's still writing new ones to this day, like I haven't read any of the ones that he's releasing now from Asadora, but like
Is one of his manga out right now? Is he releasing one?
yeah, he is working on one and is releasing like monthly. Is it? I forget, but I'm waiting for that one to be completed, which is gonna be a while probably. But yeah, like
Yeah, I mean, dude, you don't want to be stuck at like the end of one of his like plot twist chapters and waiting for the next chapter to come out, and you're hating your life.
and see, that's my issue when I start reading these mangas that are really good but they're not completed, because then I catch up within a day or so, and then I just get so frustrated. I'm like, no, like when I caught up on all the chapters of Hajime no Ippo, like 1,200 something chapters in,
Yeah.
and now I have to wait every time, and I'm like, fuck, like I want to see this full fight take place, but I have to keep waiting.
I know, especially because like the pacing slows down tremendously during the fights, because it really is like a round by round. Like you feel like you're at the match. No, dude, there's nothing worse than catching up to like a currently airing work. Like I'm keeping up with so many stupid like either webtoons or manga that come out weekly now because I either found them when they were first starting and I caught up like to like chapter 30. Now I'm on like chapter like 100 and whatever, like with Black Clover. But it's nice to like have something going on during the week because then you have like 20 minutes of your day. You're like, okay, I'll read something.
Wait,
But
speaking
it's
of,
not the not the best. I'd rather read a complete work and get to like binge it and enjoy the whole thing. But each has their own opinion.
when One Piece gets completed, I'm literally just gonna reread the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I don't even know. Like I know it's a joke, but part of me still believes that like One Piece will be completed like after I'm dead. Like there's gonna be like an AI reconstruction of Oda, and he's just gonna be working on One Piece as like a robot for eternity. I just don't see how that story ends, but it looks like it's getting pretty close. Like we're definitely in the last third of the story,
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm
which isn't really saying something given how big One Piece is. But
man, I can't fucking wait for Film Red. I just want to see Shanks in action. I just want to see some major fucking history and fuckery going on.
Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot about that movie. I mean, Shanks has like had no screen time for like 15 years now. he gets
God.
no story at all, so it's gonna be pretty cool to see him. And that's like a treat for One Piece fans because like Shanks is such a big character in terms of like story wise and like importance and influence, but you don't see him at all. So it's gonna be nice to see him in a movie. I'm looking forward to the Jujutsu Kaisen movie though, because I read because at first I didn't realize that existed, because that's like the story about like Okotsu was like another character that's like mentioned briefly in like the actual story and like the manga and the anime, but you don't see him for a while, and so that is actually a prequel creation. I think that was made as like a standalone, and then Jujutsu Kaisen came out afterwards and incorporated that story. If I think correctly, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And so it's nice to see that get animated. I didn't think it was going to be honest, because it does seem like it's going to be nice to see it. I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh yeah.
I don't know. Mappa definitely balled out for sure. Okay, and Okotsu's a cool character because he's basically like the same strength as Gojo, who like people thirst over. So I'm looking forward to when he just balls out in the movie. I feel bad for Mappa. Those guys are getting torched right now.
They're stacked right now, man. They're absolutely fucking stacked right now.
Yeah, and for people who know, like Studio Mappa is an animation studio, and they're animating like every big anime of the season for like the past like 2 seasons now, and probably for like the next 3 seasons going forward, including like movie adaptations. And so these people are just getting destroyed because they're doing Attack on Titan right now. They're doing Vinland Saga season 2.
When is that dropping? Do we know?
I don't know when it's dropping. Probably within a year. I really don't know.
I need
I
it.
don't know.
I
I
need
have no
it.
idea. But I got the Vinland Saga. This is the first volume. Because
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble's got great shit.
Mm-hmm.
They got some good shit. So I grabbed that one. I got Battle Angel Alita. Personally, I think it's my favorite. One of my favorite sci-fi series and manga and anime. Also, James Cameron made it a movie. The movie was really good. I really liked that movie. I think this the only example of an anime or manga adaptation going live action Hollywood that didn't flop tremendously. I mean, if you look at like, you ever watch Dragon Ball Evolution? 'Cause that's the poster boy.
Oh my god.
It was that is arguably the worst movie I've ever seen.
It's like,
And for anyone who doesn't know, it was a live action Dragon Ball Z. They got like a Hollywood, do over, and they just completely butchered it. Everything sucked. The hair, the costume. Piccolo was
it
just
looked like a fucking Walmart version.
Yeah,
It's
it looked
like-
like they had a budget, but apparently it wasn't nearly close enough or whatever. It was awful. It was like a C tier movie, and so that's like a cult classic now just for being so bad. And it's an example of like how Hollywood has no idea how to do an anime movie.
Like,
So,
I think in order to make a
Battle Angel Alita is
good
really cool.
live action adaptation, you need to understand what makes the scenes in the anime work. Acknowledge the limitations you work under. You can't do anything too extravagant like stretch animation, anything like that in real life. But what you can try and get to is the actual like fucking meat of it, like if you're trying to adapt like a very gritty show, like I'm gonna go with fucking Berserk right now, right? I think Berserk could have the potential to be adapted into a live action if they do it right, by which I mean they don't try and fucking copy the paneling, because that's impossible to do, like in terms of the actual impact and
No, you
everything.
have to make more flow and like keep the keynote scene. But
Yeah,
how dope would it be if they did like the special effects like they did the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, where
like that.
Lord of the Rings in the original trilogy, all that makeup, all those
Practical
orcs were
effects, all of
CGI.
it.
Yeah, it was all makeup and practical effects. So imagine they did that for like the God Hand.
Mm-hmm. Or
And all those, obviously, like you can't do that for everything.
well,
all
some of them are just way too fucking big, but still, like it's possible to do
But you
it
can
and
do
not
some-
make it saturated with bad CG.
Yeah, and I mean CG honestly is only gonna get better. I mean, look how good Pacific Rim was.
True.
That was a really dope monster movie, and that was almost all CG.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's gonna get to a point where we'll probably be able to get there where they could do a live action One Piece, and it actually looks like the actor's arm is truly stretching, and it doesn't look like super computer generated. It's gonna be in our lifetime. It's not there, but we're getting pretty close. Probably gonna be like, it's gonna get to a point where most movies are just a blend of animation and live action, where it's a CG drawn on everything through like basically every scene. It's good. It's gonna be interesting, but same thing with anime. Look how crazy anime's gone and how far they can take fights, and like the animation styles and fights. I mean, all the old fighting used to have like the Dragon Ball Z cuts where it would just like show blurs, so they wouldn't have to animate the actual fist. And then now you have like Demon Slayer is probably like the most popular one right now in terms of like really flashy animation. Anything by Ufotable, but Ufotable is doing Demon Slayer, so that's how you know. So, I mean, it's a great time to be a fan. I understand why people are watching all the new series because it's so flashy. Same thing, yeah, Studio Mappa, all their shit too. Like Jujutsu Kaisen, how they all came out. So, I get why people are watching all of them, but at the same time, like, wouldn't it be nice if the older series got another look? Because there's so many good ones.
Yeah, there's so many mangas that I'm reading that I'm just like, this needs an adaptation right about now. It's completed, it's good, it has so much potential. Please get picked up by a good studio and get done. Because like
a lot of old works are starting to get second looks too now. I'm pretty sure because there's so much money coming into the anime industry right now. From I mean, Sony acquired Crunchyroll from Warner Bros. Like AT&T for like $1 billion. I think Funimation and Crunchyroll are merging, something like that too. Because is like metrics show for at least on Netflix that anime is like the highest ROI in terms of like licensing and viewing because most people that watch anime like usually you have to take like a risk or like keep an open mind when you're watching anime for the first time. And if you're open enough to watch an anime and like it, then you'll probably like genre jump just because you like the actual medium of an anime. So it's not uncommon for like anime viewers to just go from genre to genre. So like a lot of their catalog gets a return instead of having like 3 series that people watch in like the action category and like the other 15 movies get no play. So I understand why people are investing in it. I just hope all it leads to is like more creativity and better adaptations and works, but I just hope it doesn't like make it corporate, which would really suck if it just became just about the money.
when it becomes all about the money, the soul gets sucked right out of it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think I would there though. I think the people that make the manga and the publishers they have a good grip on what they're doing. Even though there's more money than ever getting thrown around in there, but I think that's just gonna lead to more anime, which is what it's been like since when I used to watch in like 2012. I think there'd be like 12 shows would come out maybe a season. Like when they would release seasonally, because anime is typically released seasonally, like spring, winter, fall, summer. And there'd only be like 12 shows, probably 14 shows maybe. Now there's like 25, 30 shows coming out a season.
it's a good time to be an anime fan.
Yeah, and it's more accessible than ever. I mean, the original people that used to watch it would get like a VHS of the Japanese release, and then they would sub it themselves on the VHS, and that's what fan subs started as. So people were just fan subbing like all these anime VHS releases, and then eventually got to like CDs, and eventually or to DVDs, and after the disc, then you can you have the internet now, you have pirate sites, but now you have streaming sites that have just as much. So it's more accessible than ever for at least Western audiences, for sure.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Yeah, dude, people are spoiled now for sure. Like I'm jealous. Like my younger cousins that will watch anime. I was like, oh yeah, like was it hard? They're like, nah. I was like, how'd you start watching it? Because people used to have a story of how they fell into anime, because it wasn't that super accessible in the West. I mean, like I saw it on Toonami. It's not like I sought it out. It just came on after like a Cartoon Network show, and my cousin was just like, yeah, it was on Netflix and recommended to me, so I clicked on it. I was like, bro, fuck you. Get it handed to you on a silver platter.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see, though. It's a really cool arc.
I still can't believe that like my beginner animes were like the big 3. I started with One Piece, then also picked up Naruto, and then Bleach. Like for my first ones when I was 12 going on to 14, 15.
Well, that was a lot of people's. That was Shonen Jump at its peak for a while.
I am excited for the continuation of Bleach. They're gonna animate some insane fucking arcs coming up now.
Well, I know like, is it Kishimoto?
Yeah. Bless you.
I know Kishimoto. Thank you.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. I know Kishimoto gets like balls off the wall near the end of Bleach in terms of his character design and everything.
Oh yeah,
So,
everyone got drip. Everyone got these insane looks.
No, I will die on that hill that Kishimoto has the best like character like art design in terms of like fashion. Like everyone, if he released like an actual fashion collection, I would pick up something, or I'd definitely give it a look. His character,
I would agree.
All the posing, everything, like even the style, like like how black characters usually get like represented the same way in every anime.
Yeah.
But in his, like some have like colored dreads, other ones have like a different type of style. It's like everybody's unique. They all look sick.
I want
So
a
I'm glad to take a second.
collaboration of Kishimoto and Araki in terms of character drip and everything.
Yeah, Rocky's got unique character art too. I mean, he's
That would be
fucking.
interesting. Wait, let me look up if they've actually like done anything because they both like. All right, wait. Kishimoto and Araki collaboration. If they do, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Oh, if they have like a fashion collection or something, or if they've ever done anything,
Oh,
you'll probably just find have they actually done anything interesting or not.
I mean, Araki drew Naruto as JoJo, and Kishimoto drew, um, yeah. Nah, they don't have an actual collab in terms of doing art together, but they did, they did do some of that, and I like that. I like when manga artists just give like a little shout out to each other. Like when I was reading
Yeah.
Usogui and I'm on like chapter 300, 400 something, and I see a Rocky um
Oh yeah,
draw
drawing.
draw him in like that, and I'm like,
We haven't really talked about Usugori. I completely forgot.
I mean, we will talk a lot more in depth about it when we're also gonna have like my brother and I'm gonna do another thorough reread so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But
George got a. George has to finish it.
I don't know. I think he
he,
finished it
I think
now.
he's done now. I think he finished it probably like a day or two ago.
Yeah,
Took a while. But
but
to give some context, it's a manga about a gambler named Baku, but he gets called Usugori, which translates to lie eater, and so it's all about him just fucking outsmarting people. It's a great manga. Honestly, grew on me. First, to be fair, the first 80 chapters, the art was pretty brutal, but the turn, like I don't know what happened, but the art kicks up to like 11 out of 10 for the last like 300 chapters, 400 chapters. Unreal. I don't know what happened if like there was more assistance on board or something, but so much more polished. Like the action, everything was better.
oh my god, yeah, like the fact that it starts as a gambling thing and then you have some of the best drawn fight sequences, like fucking absolutely brutal, like so detailed, so fucking badass. It's so cool. It quickly, like by the end especially, it became one of just my fucking favorite mangas ever for me. And like I just picked it up one day out of nowhere, and it was like 500 fucking chapters, and I just read it all in 3 days. And then I
Yeah, and I
reread
mean,
it because I
it
didn't
just
know what the fuck was going on with all the big brain mind games and everything. I was literally just so engrossed in the fucking art that I was just wow. This is wow, you know.
no, I'm with you. The reason why I took my time reading it was because I wanted to. So in Usugoi, these people play games to wager something, which would be like billions of dollars or like missiles or the right to like take power over an organization, anything. And when you play a game, it gets insured by these referees that are like basically special ops force that double as referees. And they create a game and they play it out, and the game will be like, if you fuck up, you drown, anything like that. It's life-threatening games, and there's all these different mind games and shit they're doing right now during the fights. So I try to follow along and see if I can predict the twists that are gonna come, because that's half the fun of Usugoi is like, where's the story gonna go? Like, what twist is gonna come? Like, can I predict what the plan is gonna be? Because there's always hints and foreshadowing dropped. So I tried my best. Obviously not. I couldn't figure out half this shit. Especially by the end, I gave up. I was like, listen, man. I was like, whatever's good is good, dude. I was like, you do you. And I just kept getting my mind blown by the end of it. So
My brain is swelling. It's swelling triple its size.
Bro, I was burning calories reading that shit. I'm like sweating. I'm like, how is he doing it? And
Yeah,
And it was a
makes you
phenomenal
think.
experience. I used to see it released on the website I read on. I used to see it releasing every week, and I didn't think anything about it because like the cover that was chosen on the website didn't look good at all. It looked like a random comic, and there's also a lot of Chinese uploads, and the art on those is usually really whack. So I ignored it. For a manga to have like 500 chapters, and for me to not know about it, there's not a lot of those out there that I don't know of. You know, so
His
I was pretty surprised. It was pleasantly surprised though. 'Cause that was a phenomenal read.
I forget the dude's name now, unfortunately, but at some point
Oh, the author
of Usagui, yeah. But his second series that he's working on now that is still being updated, Batuk, I think it's called, and it's about capoeira and fighting. That one is basically just the action aspects of Usagui with almost none of like the gambling elements of it. So it's just that insane art style and all these fights cranked to the max. So it's still releasing. I will let you know at some point when there's enough out there that you should pick up on it. But I don't know how long it's gonna run till. Because if you reach the point that I did and you reach the fucking cliffhanger, you're like, now I have to wait every month. You know.
Well, knowing that the author could just pull out another 500 chapter series out of his ass, like I'm gonna give it a little minute.
Yeah, but
I got enough I'm trying to keep up with already, man. It's so brutal.
But yeah, no, we're definitely gonna be talking more about Usagui, just like different characters or moments or just different pieces of art. And also, at some point these next few days, weeks, we're gonna create the Galaxy Express Instagram page.
Oh, the page, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Just to pump out just like random series if anyone follows or whatever.
You can just upload just all kinds of manga panels and just be like, hey, check this out, you know? So
especially I think it's gonna be fun to do. Just it's kind of annoying to see like the same manga screen grab on 40 different aggregate sites or on channels or not channels, Insta profiles, and it just turned out the same thing over and over again. Like, bro, like come on.
And also the constantly decreasing quality because people keep screenshotting and then re-uploading it.
Yeah,
like, nah, man. You're gonna get from the source to the Instagram. That's it.
Yeah, they get pretty raw by the end of it.
But yeah, I have saved up like at least 1,000 different images from different mangas and different manhwas and webtoons that I've been reading that are just waiting. They're just waiting on my phone.
Yeah, and for clarification, the manga is a Japanese comic, manhwa is a Korean comic, and a webtoon's like webtoons are typically what, Korean too, right?
Typically Korean, but I think.
But they're just more universal.
I think more people can post on it than just Korean.
Yeah, I think
artists, but
Chinese ones too.
Yeah.
So just like more of like a web comic where you read left to right, and it's kind of they're designed for you to read on your phone.
Yeah,
which is why they've blown up.
They're so fucking addictive. You just scroll. It's just a single scroll.
Dude, they're just a scroll. You just keep scrolling through, and so many of them are the same fucking story. But you know what you're gonna get, and a lot of times, I've read more webtoons, and through reading them, I've realized that webtoons are typically a studio adapts a written story, but it's the same studio that adapts a bunch of stories, and typically they adapt a similar genre for all of them, more or less. And a lot of those are typically just power fantasies too, unfortunately. But the studio has the same art style through and through, so they're adapting all these similar premises. And so next thing you know, you have like 10 series coming out of the same genre, like a similar art style. And it basically just looks like carbon copies.
Yeah.
But they all deliver on the same beat, so you're like, fine, I'll read all 10.
I know where this is going, but I'm enjoying it anyways, so.
Yeah, it's like, you know the sloppy Joe sandwich isn't the best thing for you, but you're like, alright, fine, I can indulge. Like, they're so addictive. They were occupying so much of my time in terms of, like, the percentage of what I was consuming. 'Cause they're fun, but I'm not like I don't finish reading them, and I'm like, wow. I was like, that was a really impactful story. I'm like, wow, that was like, a one of a kind work, or I'm like, that's really something I'm gonna commit to memory and remember. I really enjoyed that series. Some of them are. There are some webtoons that are fucking phenomenal. That are equally as good as some manga, and I'm gonna post just as many of those as I do manga or like anime screen grabs on the channel or on the
Oh yeah,
Instagram profile because there are some webtoons that have phenomenal art or really original that like break the mold of being super derivative, and I hope that those get more of a spotlight because they're fucking cool.
for sure, dude. Like and I still can't fucking wait for some of them to get animated. I need to go to the bathroom
Yeah,
real quick. One sec. Oh.
Okay, and now we have returned to just the Alton show on Galaxy Express. Yesterday I had a blackened mahi fish taco and a bourbon cocktail. Oh, and Adri is back.
The bathroom
What's up,
is
Adri?
occupied. I'm about to piss myself, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I am a strong. I'm a strong boy.
I got my sister's diaper somewhere lying around. I'll airmail them over to you real quick.
Thank you. Yeah, you just do it by carrier pigeon. It's usually more reliable.
Via hot air balloon.
Yeah, I fucking wish I had carrier pigeons. I would just send like memes around the world. I would just like print out like a shitty PNG of a meme and just put it there and make this bird fly around the fucking globe and reach my friends and like, oh my god, it's a message. And they open it and it's just some low res like anime meme.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still. I'm sure some group is still using that type of messaging. Definitely.
Whoop. Da-da-da. Alright, one sec. Now. I'm going. Wait.
Okay, and we're back. So yeah, I had that. I had the bourbon cocktail. After that was a jalapeno tequila cocktail. I don't really like a lot of zest in my drink, but it was pretty solid. Had some kick. Followed that up with a $3 gin and tonic at a dive bar happy hour. I've had better nail polish remover. After that was probably the worst Jaeger bomb I've ever had. I think it was like half a glass of Red Bull and then a shot of Jaeger. And I don't know if you ever tried chugging half a glass of Red Bull, but don't do it. I saw the homeless guy missed a spot on the side street, so I got it for him. Repainted the sidewalk a little bit. But you know, you live, you learn. You get a flat Stella afterwards and some water, and your stomach's all good. Alright, Adrian, back.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, I also have been taking care of my stomach by drinking 14 shots of Jägermeister and 2 Long Island iced teas in the club in Rome.
Hey, that will do it.
Feels good. I need to leave soon, but I figured before.
I also do as well.
But I realized before doing so, I just wanted to show this baby off.
Yeah, you pull it out. Let me hear some.
Cause I think I tuned it before. Yeah. You know Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Never played it, but what about it?
They have some sea shanties that I'm learning.
Alright, go for it. I'm not hearing any of that, by the way.
Really?
No. I see you plucking the string. I can't hear it.
That is strange. You can hear my voice, but you can't hear this.
Just pluck one note. Okay, I heard that. 2 notes. Yeah,
Oh, wait. You recognize this?
I know you're playing Big Socket, but at the same time, it sounds like it's going through a vocoder, and I can't hear shit.
That is very unfortunate. It might be the
I'm
microphone or
actually
something.
really bummed because the first 3 notes sounded good, and I wanted to hear the rest of them. That fucking blows. I'm
I'll,
just stoked to hear it.
I'll send you a recording once I get good enough at playing with it. But yeah,
Yeah,
this.
sorry. Just attach it to the end of this video. You'll be
Bro,
good.
I've just been like just grabbing this whenever I have nothing to do, and I'm just like writing down different songs, like transcribing them essentially. I wish it had more
Do you have any
strings.
Greek ones?
I got one, yeah. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear.
No, I cannot.
Oh, and
I'll wait.
I also am learning how to play the Misty Mountain Cold from The Hobbit. So that's another thing that I'm gonna add at the end and maybe send you a video of.
Yeah, no, I definitely watch it. That's sick.
But yeah, no, I've only got this like a couple weeks ago, but I've already like grown to love it so fucking much, dude. I'm probably gonna give her a name at some point, but not like a human name because I don't like naming like objects after humans. But I'm probably gonna figure out some kind of name for her because I don't know.
Name her Dave.
Dave, Dave, inspire me, my muse.
I'm glad you're picking up the skill set. I'm doing the same. I'm signing on for another scuba certification.
Hey,
For my,
let's go.
I think the name is Advanced Open Water, so I can go up to like 130 feet deep, 120 feet deep. I think.
Yeah, when you come to Greece, you gotta show me some scuba diving so we can do some deep sea fishing.
Yeah, no, I would definitely do some diving over there. I don't know how deep that World War II ship is, but I would totally do that.
Literally like
There.
at 10, 20 meters. It's not that deep.
Oh, that's not deep at all. So you
Yeah.
can see a lot with the light.
Yeah, you can basically see it from the surface, depending on the
Yeah,
time of
shipwreck
day.
dives are cool, man. Like shipwrecks are morbid, but the dives are really cool. I'm
And
not
also,
gonna
there's
lie.
basically no sharks or anything like that in Greece. Like whatever sharks we do have, they're just much
'Cause,
smaller.
people forget that when a ship sinks, it leaves a ruin. And so there's just these like former things that used to dwell above the water, these giant crafts that used to sail. And then next thing you know, like when they die or like when the boats sink, they fall to the bottom. And then all it leaves is a skeleton for you to examine afterwards. So I like those dives a lot. And I'll let you go, Adrian, because I gotta get going too.
Yeah.
My friend's
My-
probably in the parking lot of the gym waiting for me.
My grandmother is beckoning me to dinner. So
I will tell you, Norm, I said hello and enjoy your meal.
oh yeah. And yeah, it's been fucking good talking again. Next one of these is probably gonna be in April when I'm back again from Italy because I just can't do anything without mountain Wi-Fi there. But yeah, by
You'll be
that
alright.
point, I'll have uploaded a few more episodes, including this one in between. But yeah, bro, it was nice catching up, and see you again in April.
Alright, talk to you, Holmes.
All right, homie.